thinking about getting back together with your ex. Or maybe you're already texting them and yeah, your friends don't even know. You're keeping it from them because you're not sure. Or maybe they do know and they're just like not fans. Okay, let's pause the fuck up right now because before you decide, yes, we are getting back, let's actually talk about whether this is a good idea or just a pattern here because it could be sort of like Taylor Swift. We are never getting back together, like ever. And yes, of course, you hear about people who are on again and off again, and maybe that's you, or maybe you know somebody like that. And then you also hear about the people who were maybe on and off again, and then they got married and lived happily ever after. Statistically speaking, that is actually very unlikely. But you're like, no, I am the stat. I am the stat of those people who live happily ever after. Okay, we are going to be diving all into exactly what to look for, why you do this, and the reality of getting back together with your ex. And then, of course, we're going to get into our taco section talking about coming and orgasms. Yes, I know it's a little risque, but the truth is that when you get back together with your ex and then you have sex, yes, it rhymes. I like that. Then all of a sudden, boom, are you doing this because you're actually connecting or are you doing this for comfort? So we will be talking about sex with your ex also. Yeah, we're going to be covering that shit. But first, welcome to Carla Turned On, where dating and relationships get real, sex gets talked about, and the BS gets left on red. Let's get turned on. I'm just going to be so real with you right now. Just because you miss your ex does not equate to you should get back together with them or you should be with them. Missing your ex is also part of a grieving process of a breakup, and some of the process of grief might be sort of this bargaining stage where you're like, well, maybe if I did this or I said this differently, it would work. And then that's all of a sudden where the thoughts go to texting them and trying to work it out. Or maybe it's been months and you've been dating and it's a struggle right now. You're just like, this sucks. I'm not meeting anybody. I miss them. They're easy. And so maybe I'll just go back to what was comfortable. Or you convince yourself that grass is always greener. You know what? That relationship was a lot better than just where I am and being single right now. There's a lot of reasons why you might want to get back together with your ex. I will say that it is a very normal thing to want to get back together with your ex. And I think that if you're sitting there ashamed or embarrassed, that is also a normal feeling because you're like, oh my gosh, it didn't work out. And if people find out that then I want to get back together with them, now I'm judging myself. Or maybe you've had this on and off again. And so there's sort of this like embarrassment around like, we can't seem to make this work and everybody has opinions about it. And then you go full on embarrassed. Okay, well, first off, you don't have to ever do these things alone. I just will throw out there, I do offer coaching, one-on-one coaching. I do offer an Ask Me Anything session, dating profile makeover session too. If you're struggling with dating and you're like, I don't want to get back together with my ex, I'm struggling with dating, I need help with that profile. You can find all of that in the show notes. I have different guides and things like that. You can also go to carlaromo.com and apply to work with me there. And then, of course, if you're new here, hello, welcome. You're freaking awesome. And if you are an OG listener or you have just listened to an episode before, welcome the fuck back. I'm excited and happy that you are here. But also, don't forget, give this podcast 5-star rating on anywhere that you listen, Spotify, Apple, wherever the fuck you listen. I don't know where other places you would listen that give stars. If this is a thing, please give those stars beyond the ether of the universe of Spotify and Apple. I would love that. All right. But here's the reality. We're getting back into all of this right now of getting back together with your ex or not. We need to get clear of the why you want to get back together with your ex. Because if you do not get clear on the why, you are going to skip over that and you're going to reach for that text. You're going to reach for their hand. You're going to reach for the phone, whatever. Okay. You get the point. These are the 3 reasons why you want to get back together with your ex. Number 1, you're lonely. You miss the connection. Look, when you have spent a significant amount of time with somebody, okay, you've bonded, or maybe there was something really terrible that happened in your life and that person was there for you during that time period. Look, it is also okay to have season, reason, lifetime, okay, of like why somebody's in your life. I don't know if you've heard of that, but it's a fun little saying. And so you long for them as security, or you long for them as comfort, or maybe there's underlying feelings. I can tell you right now, I broke free from codependency. And there is a podcast episode, a couple episodes back, that's all around codependency. But I felt so lonely and I felt like I was never going to meet anybody and that I was unlovable and unworthy and not enough in relationships. And so as a result, like I needed to fill the space of being single. I felt lonely. And so that is a normal feeling to experience. Loneliness is a normal feeling to experience, but it's not healthy to sit in the loneliness. And I think I'm going to be real with you. I always keep it real, right? Let's be real. Let's be real. Okay. The truth is you being lonely might not even necessarily be about them. It could be, like I said, some of those deeper feelings of being codependent, not being able to feel like you can be single and on your own. You got to get real with yourself in these because this is where you're going to have the awareness of your why. Why? Number 2, you remember the good. Okay, that's normal. Like, kudos to you too. If you came from a relationship that had a lot of good in it. And so then as a result, you long for that good and those feelings. You were connected to this person. You knew this person so well and they knew you so well. But the reality is that's just a highlight reel and it's not the full reality of your relationship and the dynamics because you broke up for a reason. Like there's a reason you're not together anymore, but you want to have those good feelings again, especially if you're in like the grief of a breakup and it just feels so shitty, or you've been trying to date after this person and you're just missing them in that sense. And you just feel like, ugh, this just isn't, good and it's not great. Then you're going to sit there and remember all the amazing things that went down in that relationship. Like that's a normal thing to think about, but you also don't want to act on it. Number 3, dating feels hard AF. I have worked with over 1,000 clients. Okay. I have been a dating and relationship coach for over 8 years at this point, like 8.5 years. Okay. I can tell you straight up, dating is hard as fuck. And I genuinely believe the dating culture has shifted so much, even in like the last decade. All right. Around ghosting and things, kind of only panning out for a couple weeks or a couple dates. And you thought, oh my God, this is the one. This is great. And then boom, it just ends. So then all of a sudden you're just like, this is so hard. Maybe going back to this person would just be easier. And I don't have to be in the trenches of dating because dating can suck. Dating just, I hate it. It's awful, right? Dating doesn't have to suck. Okay. I can tell you that right now as a coach. And I know you're like, F you, Carla. It sucks. Okay, fine. All right. I'll let you be in your feelings with that one. But the reality is that you get in your own head about dating being hard. And I'm not saying that you're making it up. Dating is hard, but you get in your head about it. And then that's when you start to think about your ex. And it's important to remember that, of course, thinking about your ex feels easy. It's familiar. Easy doesn't always mean right, though, okay? So easier path doesn't always mean it's the right path. Sometimes it's important to go through the hard path in life. I'm not saying put yourself in the hard path, but if that is what's in front of you, to be able to get through it, right? To be able to go through that hard path in life versus retreating and reverting back to something that's easier, but also not good for you. All right. And of course, I know. I said kind of like when it wouldn't be good for you. So yes, we're going to talk about when it's an absolute no, you should not be getting back with your ex. These are the 3 reasons why. Okay, I need you to listen up. Hey, real quick, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want dating support, don't forget to look in the notes below where you can learn all about my guides and how to work with me. And if you want to follow me on my socials, you can find me anywhere at I am Carla Romo. Let's get turned on. Number 1, nothing has changed. Yes, nothing has changed. Same patterns, same cycles of conflict, and nothing is budging. Okay. So you get back in this and it's like deja fucking vu. You're just like, oh, well, I can predict this one again. And maybe in the beginning, it's actually good. Most people, they get back with their ex. Things are good for a little bit. And then boom, all of a sudden things kind of rumble again. Or sometimes things just rumble right away. But the reality is that you got to be real with yourself here of what's actually coming up in that relationship. And if there's the same issues, right? You guys are having the same issues over and over again. The person's not making an effort into showing that they care or making you feel safe and secure emotionally in the relationship. Or it's the same patterns. The person retreats or pulls away, or the lack of conversation around conflict. Like these are some pretty big things. And getting back with your ex does not guarantee that these things are going to go away and change. If anything, they actually might be exacerbated because of it. Number two, you're hoping but not actually seeing real change. This is a hard one because this is like la la land. And I'm not saying you're delusional or crazy, but this is where you have to get real around where is the proof? Okay? Because it is great to see potential. Oh, did I used to see potential in past partners? I saw the potential of where they could go, the things they could do, the things they could become, if only. Okay, the reality is that was my own shit going on in my head. The truth is that potential, you can't fall in love with potential. You have to fall in love with the reality. And when you see the potential and that's what you're holding on to, you're done. Game over. Like it's already done. It's not going to work because you're no longer grounded in what's actually going on. And then number three, you're feeling anxious again or feeling anxious. So this is inconsistent behavior. I know I talk about inconsistent. If you've been chilling with us on this podcast for a little bit, you know that consistency talk is a big one for me. It's a big freaking thing for me. And I'm going to say right now, inconsistent behavior, absolutely not. You keep overthinking, you're chasing. And what I mean by chasing, it doesn't have to look exactly like, they keep pulling away and I keep chasing them. No, it can look like you being the one to initiate all the conversations around the conflict and trying to repair. You're the only one chasing this freaking relationship right now. You're the only one chasing, trying to fix the problems. This person's just along for the ride. They're giving you enough, but not enough. Okay. Those are problems. Those are an absolute no. Danger zone. Don't fucking do it. Because the reality is, if nothing changes, guess what? Nothing changes, baby. All right. But here's the truth. It could potentially work. All right. It absolutely could potentially work. I know I'm sitting here and everyone's like, oh my God. Okay, here we go. We're getting into the good part of the podcast where Carla's going to talk about how it's going to absolutely work because I am that percentage of that person who lives that happily ever after. And I'm going to just drop this right here. There is real change. That person got help or you got help. It doesn't matter who it is in the relationship that needed to work through something. Maybe both of you guys got help. Not because you or they told you to, because you did it on your own. This was your own self-motivation. And you were like, I need to make some changes in my life. That is the only way. And I'm going to tell you this right now, that healthy relationships can move forward after getting back together. Okay? Because the issues that were there are still there. Just because you took time away and reflected does not change the relationship dynamic. You both have to own your part of the past. Even if you're like, well, it was their fault. They did X, Y, Z. Okay, fine. Okay. Like if you're going to really play that game, but what was your part in it? Did you communicate with the person? Did you shut down at all? What did you let resentment build and grow because of what happened? Right? That's where you need to do your work and they need to do their work. But the only way relationships absolutely work out, the only way is if somebody in that relationship who maybe there was a bigger issue on their side of things, okay? I'm not blaming the one person, all right? I genuinely believe a lot of times, not always, okay? In abusive relationships, I would say 110% do not get back together with the person, right? Like anything like that's toxic or unhealthy like that, do not get back together with the person. But in relationships that don't have abuse, okay, or like severe infidelity, and when I say severe, there's lots of infidelity that goes on in relationships. Both people need to own what happened, but sometimes, right, in the infidelity, just that one person, they're the ones that go and cheat and have a secret life, right? Like that's not on you to like, oh, I should have had a conversation. I should have not been as like conflict avoidant about something. No, that was their decision to have an affair and have infidelity, okay? So those are separate things from what we're talking about here. But if you look at a situation of a relationship of why it didn't work, you got to own your part. Recognize, what do I want to change? Maybe I could be a little bit more patient, or maybe I can take a pause when I'm feeling a little overwhelmed and flooded in a conversation of conflict. Whatever it might be, but that is the only way that shit is going to work out. It's not just, I miss you. It's actually taking accountability. Okay? 110 fucking percent. So long story short, if you go back without change, you are signing up for the same ending that happened before. All right, not trying to bring it down, but let's shift a little bit over to the taco section, talking about coming and orgasms. That's what it stands for. And sex with your ex. I love how that rhymes. Okay. I didn't even do that on purpose, but I get a kick out of it. It's kind of fun. Okay. Sex with your ex. And are you going back for comfort, connection? Is it just easy, right? Like, we're going to explore that because lots of people go back and have sex with their ex. And sometimes you have sex with your ex and you're not even planning on getting back to them, but you just keep sleeping with them, right? Like, you're like, we're not going to get back together, like, ever. But you do decide, okay, we're going to sleep together. Or sometimes you are getting back together with your ex and sex is a bit uncomfortable, or there's some weird feelings involved, or it's shifted. It's not the same. Here's some things that I want you to think about if you're going to go back and have sex with your ex. Number one, quick fix. Is this a quick fix? Is this something that you are just quickly reaching for and you're like, hey, you know what? Like, I'm feeling lonely. I'm feeling down. I know this person. There's comfort in it. I'm just going to go for it. Like, you got to get real with yourself. This seems to be a theme, saying get real with yourself, but it's true. You also know there's not an awkward stage. You've had sex with this person before. So for you, it's like, okay, there's a comfort layer to this versus having sex with somebody new. Okay. And maybe you're dating and you decide that I'm going to sleep with my ex while I'm also dating. I'm going to be real, and you can 110% disagree with me, but I'm just going to keep it real right now and tell you that you having sex with your ex while dating other people makes you emotionally unavailable. It doesn't mean you can't meet somebody new, but you still have 1 foot in, or maybe you have something else in, and 1 foot out with your ex, while also trying to move forward and create a path forward. Number 2, it creates a false sense of closeness. Yes, it makes you feel like, oh, we're close again. No, those are dopamine hits. That's chemicals running through. Those are endorphins that are making you feel like, oh, we're close again. This might work out. And then maybe you start to think, maybe we'll be together, or this is going to work perfect and we're going to get back together and this is going to be great. Or you have sex and you're like, yes, this feels familiar. This is great. Our relationship's going to work again now that we're back together and we're having sex like this. The reality is nothing has changed. Like I said earlier, if nothing's changed, nothing's changed. Like, same story. Number 3, another big one, is it messes with your head. Oh my God, it is meant to be. Yay, this is great. We had this connection before, we still have it, which means we didn't lose anything at all. And like, we were meant and destined to be together. No, slow down, slow down. That is the bond, not the actual compatibility piece. Compatibility trumps everything, okay? Like, that is so key here. And number 4, check your why. Do I actually want them back, or do I just want the sex or the closeness or the feel goods? Like, what is my why? You want to get clear on like what is motivating you to get back and sleep with them. All right. There's no shame. Okay. I'm not shaming you here, but you got to get clear on your why. Like, what is the motivation here? And number 5, the fucking reality is it keeps you stuck. Yes, it does, because it feels like you're bonding with this person. You feel like we are close again. It's happening. It's good to go. But the absolute reality is that it's not. Okay. Unless you actually, like I said earlier, I keep repeating myself because there's a theme here. Unless you what? You actually make the change. Is anything going to change? No, nothing's going to change. And the reality is that it reopens attachment, and then it makes moving on even harder. So just because you guys had sex and you're like, oh my God, this is amazing, we're back, this is great, does not equate to we should keep dating or we should get back together. And the truth is, sex with your ex doesn't give you clarity. It keeps you attached. So the next time that you are going to text them, DM them, just pause. Just pause and ask yourself why. Loved this episode? Rate it 5 stars, hit that subscribe button, baby, and leave a review. Do you want to work with me? Grab my dating courses, apply for my coaching at carlaromo.com, or find it all in the show notes, and give me a little follow at I am Carla Romo on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Catch you next time, and stay tuned. Carla Turned On is for educational and entertainment purposes only. This is not a substitute for therapy. For professional support, please reach out to a licensed mental health provider.